Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to this video on the Capricorn full moon. So this is happening on July the 3rd, and it marks the halfway point through the calendar year. So it's a really beautiful time to revisit your intentions that were set at the beginning of the year. I know some of you may set New Year's resolutions. For other people, it's simply intentions, things you desire to create. Maybe you choose a word for the year that you're working to embody. So this energy is perfect for doing that revisit as well as reset. So you may look back and decide that, wow, I'm celebrating so many of the things that I've already accomplished this year. Or you're looking at, I thought this is what I was working toward, but now I've had new insights, new revelations, and I'm ready to set new intentions. So for all of you who are new here, my name is Kara. When I do these cosmic energy readings, I'm studying the astrology. So today I am going to pull up the chart. We're going to look at the main aspects for this full moon. And I also share channel guidance from the Akashic Records to help us gain a deeper understanding of how these energies are at play in our life, how they are alive within you, and how we can co-create with them in the highest timeline. So if that is something that resonates with you, be sure that you subscribe. If you found this video really helpful, or you think it could help someone else in your life, you're welcome to share it out. And I'm just so grateful for you. So before I pull up the chart, the first thing I want to dive into is a deeper understanding of the archetypal energy of Capricorn, since that's where this full moon is happening. So Capricorn is about achievement, success, and accomplishment. And it's a really good time to look at, how do I define success in my life? And have I maybe just taken on society's definition, my family's definition, the people around me's definition of success, without really taking time to go within and ask, what do I desire? What is it that I want? Because we are all here on our own path. And because we are co-creating together, we can allow other people to inspire us. Other people can even strengthen our belief in what is possible for us. When we see those around us achieving things that we would like to create, it strengthens that belief that that is possible for me as well. What we don't want to do is get into this element of comparing where we are, the speed at which we are manifesting things, the decisions we are making against what anyone else is doing, because their path may not have anything to do with yours. We each have different karmic lessons we are learning, different intentions we held coming into this body, and we want to stay in our lane. We want to honor our truth. This full moon really brings us back to that. Capricorn is also represented by the mountain goat, slowly climbing its way to the top of that mountain. But it's certain about where it is going. It reminds us of the power of persisting toward what we desire to create, taking consistent action, of not needing to be in a rush, but knowing that we're going to get to where we are meant to get, and our happiness, our worth, and our value is not dependent on getting to that goal. It is found each and every step of the way there. So there's a certainty with this energy. Capricorn is an earth sign, is very grounded, very practical. So let's dive a little deeper here. I'm going to share my screen so we can look more into the aspects that are at play here with this moon as well. If I can widen this. There we go. My messy desktop. Okay, we're here. So we've got the full moon over here, 11 degrees of Capricorn, opposing the sun at 11 degrees of Cancer. A direct opposition makes this a full moon. We also have Mercury at 14 degrees of Cancer, which is really coming into play with this energy as well. So each of the signs of the zodiac have an opposite sign, and understanding the opposite sign helps us more deeply understand the energies at play. So where Capricorn here is about our public life, it's how you are sharing your gifts with your community, with the world. It's about success in that external accomplishment. Cancer is about your inner world, your inner desires, your intuition, how you feel. And it's really helpful when you are looking at what it is you desire to create and what you are celebrating so far this year, that you're not just looking at what you have achieved externally, but you're looking at your inner growth and your inner development and how you feel on the way to each new manifestation. How you feel on the way to each new manifestation is going to be how you feel when you arrive. Our ego can play this trick on us that I'll be happy when I reach the income goal I have. I'll be happy when I move into the dream house. And it's just an illusion. It's like how you feel now is how you're going to feel there. And that's actually really good news, because you can begin to generate the feelings that you desire where you are today. And it doesn't mean that you can't change elements of your circumstance. I mean, Capricorn's all about that. Yes, you can create change. If there's something you dislike about where you are, you can choose again. It's simply finding that balance of honoring how you feel, where your intuition is guiding you, not just the external manifestations. So Mercury in opposition to this moon here is really interesting, because Mercury governs communication, our thoughts. Traditionally, it's very associated with the analytical mind. When it's in the sign of Cancer, it becomes very feeling based. Instead of I think, it's more I feel. So it really puts us in touch with the wisdom of our body. How do you feel about things? Not just what do you think about them, how do you feel about them? And of course, honoring both are very significant. It's simply when we're working with Mercury and Cancer, this energy really takes on that element of feeling, of intuition. It supports us in being more empathetic and compassionate in our conversations, and really craving like a depth of conversation, meaningful conversation, and connection is the word I really feel with this aspect right now. Now, this opposition with the moon here and Mercury can bring in this conversation around belief systems, the thoughts you are entertaining. And in the sign of Cancer, it's about the belief systems you may have picked up early on in your life that you're now releasing and letting go of. We take a lot of beliefs on from our family, and it becomes programmed in our subconscious, and we often just see it as truth. We just think it's an absolute truth instead of an option, a belief. So this full moon, you may become really aware of what those ingrained patterns are, what those thoughts and beliefs are. And you can look at it, like I've shared this before, I think it's worth sharing again, that any belief that takes you out of your power, that feels like it produces fear in the body, that feels very contractive, you get to let go of it. It's likely not aligned with your truth and your path and how you desire to feel, what you desire to create. So it's safe to let it go. I'm thinking this full moon, a lot of that stuff may come up to the surface to be cleared and cleansed. So you can move into the second part of this calendar year, really being aware of how you desire to feel. And I actually would invite you to reflect on that. What is the energies and frequencies you want to play in? Maybe you want to welcome more gratitude in your life. Maybe you want to welcome more peace and contentment into your life. Emotions are manifestations as well, and it's often a step that we bypass if we're just solely focused on getting to the external goal, and we forget that the frequency and the energy of it is so powerful. So as you're setting these intentions moving into the second part of the year, how do you desire to feel is really important to consider, and this full moon's helping you with that. So the ruler of this full moon in Capricorn is Saturn. We currently have Saturn retrograding in the sign of Pisces. And they're actually in sextile formation here, which is in astrology, it's positive energy flow. So Saturn in Pisces is really bringing together our humanity and our divinity. Being here in physical form is a gift. It is a miracle to be here that we sometimes overlook because it can feel quite challenging, right? But it is actually a gift. And the more that we remember who we really are, we stay connected to our soul, our higher self, the easier we navigate life. And it's not just about how we navigate the challenges, it's about finding beauty in this life journey. It's about enjoying this life journey. So Saturn in Pisces really brings that together. Yes, you are, your soul is infinite and you're also here in physical form, and honor both of those aspects. Now, Saturn in Pisces is interesting because Piscean energy is actually quite complex. It relates to a lot of different things. It is about our higher self and higher realms of consciousness. It's also about our subconscious. It's about the the things we do to kind of escape this reality. Like traditionally in astrology, the 12th house is also known as the house of self-undoing, and what that refers to is how if we're not aware of what some of those programs are in our life, what some of our escapism behavior is, it can kind of take over our life. But as soon as we have that awareness, we can create those changes. So Saturn in Pisces for all of us has really been about a deeper understanding of what those unconscious programs are. There's also something about dreams here as well, like messages, literally, like when we go to sleep at night, our dreams. There, with Saturn in Pisces, especially now retrograde, you can receive a lot of messages through your dreams. You can do a lot of processing and healing in your dream state as well. So this aspect with Saturn and the moon, and Saturn being the ruler of this full moon, I think it's also about looking at what structure is necessary to bring your manifestations to full fruition. Where are you in need of more structure, more order in your life? Saturn really helps us cultivate that sense of discipline. The feminine side of that is devotion. I often say the masculine is the discipline, it's the order. The feminine side of that is being devoted to what we love, devoted to our purpose, devoted to our mission. So there's certainly an element there of looking at where you may be on that equation. So we don't want to be forcing and willing things into place through our human strength alone, which is often a recipe for burnout and overwhelm and making things a lot harder than they need to be. The other side of that is we also don't want to just be laying around sitting on the couch all day and not taking any actions and wondering why our life isn't changing. So it's about that flow of we get to do our part, we get to take the inspired action. We don't have to, we get to. And when we're aligned, that actually feels really fun to do. So it brings both of that together in a way that flows. And we tend to be on one side or the other. I find we may be very, very hardworking, very ambitious, and prone to like the perfectionism or burnout, or too much on the other side where it's hard for us to be consistent, to keep momentum going, to take the action. And we want to find a balance that works for, like, you want to find a balance that works for you, because each of our blueprints are very different as well. So, and of course, that can kind of change throughout our life. Sometimes we're called to be more in that action mode. Other times we're really called to step back and be more in that receptive mode. But the more that we can find that balance, it feels really good. And our manifestational ability goes to new levels. So the other aspect of this moon here is a trine over here to Jupiter in the sign of Taurus, bringing in a lot of earth energy here. Capricorn is an earth sign, Taurus is an earth sign. Earth signs combined with this water energy of Cancer and Pisces coming into the mix, really good for manifesting. And there's something here about really being grounded and embodied in what you want. So there's times where we may set intentions about something we want to create, but it just feels so separate from us. It's like it hasn't quite landed. We haven't got the feeling in our body of what it would be like to have that or create that. And it kind of feels like a separation. So this energy is about being fully grounded and embodied in what you want. It's not just like a dream floating around in the ethers, but you're really calling that energy in and you're embodying it. This energy of Jupiter here in Taurus is also really good for any money goals that you're setting. So in your business, if you have certain income goals, a certain amount of money you would like to call in. And I always say, like, because I see it this way, money is a neutral energy. It's so neutral. And then it's just whatever we attach to it. But abundance, the energy of abundance, that's a frequency. And Jupiter in Taurus can really help us tap into the vibe of more than enough. And we all can tap into that energy of abundance. Some of some of us, we can all get there to feel that with money. You may be able to look at your current money situation and say, wow, there's more than enough. I always have more than enough for what I need, what I desire. We all get to work to that place. If you feel like you're not yet there, it can be looking at, well, where are you abundant? Do you have an abundance of support in your life, an abundance of love in your life, access to an abundance of information? If you are watching me here, you have access to an abundance of information, not just from me, but other content creators. Like, there's so much information. So where do you feel that energy of overflow and abundance and more than enough? And it feels really good when we lock into that, because it's the truth of our soul, and it gets us out of survival mode, which happens when we are in lack or scarcity, or nervous systems in overdrive, and it puts us into more of a relaxed state of openness and receiving. So the last aspect, actually there's a couple more that are jumping out here. Oh, we are in a time of powerful change here. So the North Node is about to wrap up its cycle in Taurus, and on July 17th, it's going to move into Aries. I'll be talking much more about this because in astrology, the North Node is very significant. In your personal birth chart, the North Node says so much about your life path and purpose and the skills you are here to develop, to even master this lifetime. Collectively, when we see a North Node shift, we see a shift in energy. So again, it's not happening yet, but it's just something to be aware of. Over the course of July, we are going to see a big shift collectively with the North Node in Aries. The ruler of Aries is Mars, which is that masculine energy. There's going to be more of a focus and discussion around the divine masculine and how we embody the divine masculine in our personal life and as a society. You're going to see more of those conversations popping up with a shift of the North Node. Okay, I'll talk more about that as that occurs. The other aspect I want to mention here is Saturn forming a trine with the sun in Cancer here. So this beautiful energy, this Cancerian energy and Piscean energy, that's the water energy that's bringing in an element of softness to this full moon. The Capricorn energy, quite strong and powerful. Again, a lot of what we would associate with the masculine characteristics of that achievement and success. This feminine energy coming in is about really paying attention to where your intuition is guiding you at this time. If something feels off, it is off. Allow other people's journey to inspire you, but don't think their journey is going to look like yours. Like, at the end of the day, you have to take time to go within and really know what lights you up, what's aligned with your path, what isn't, or else things start to feel very chaotic and confusing if we don't take that time to go within and have that solid foundation about what we desire and what we want to create. And one other aspect here I want to bring your awareness to is we currently have Venus and Mars over here in the sign of Leo. Now, this is not at the forefront at the time of this full moon. It's not aspecting this moon or directly involved with it. And at the same time, it's still the alignment at the time of the full moon. So I think it's worth mentioning. This is bringing in an element of creativity and playfulness. Venus is the goddess, the feminine, Mars, the masculine. So there's something about bringing those energies together within us, exploring what that balance looks like for us. And a reminder to not take it all so serious. With Capricorn, it can be a very serious undertone. Now, what Capricorn is beautiful at, of course, is so many things. They're incredible manifestors and creators. And it really teaches us to set aside our emotions to do what needs to be done. So I often ask myself with decisions that I make, what would future self Kara do? Not just what do I feel like in this moment, but at the end of the day, would I have been happy to have taken that action? What would future self Kara do and be proud of? Capricorn's really good at that, which is why it is associated with that advancement and accomplishment. And the shadow side is things get so serious that we forget to check in with how we are feeling, or we forget to bring in that joy and that fun, and that it's not all so serious. So this alignment here in Leo, Venus and Mars there. Venus is going to be here for an extended length of time because it's also preparing to retrograde later in July as well. So we'll talk more about that. But we have a lot of time to work with this energy of how we are connecting with our inner child. It also relates to the heart space, our heart chakra, love and compassion. So just a beautiful reminder to like keep the joy in it all. Don't get so serious about all of this. Have fun with it. When we are in the element of play and fun, things manifest with greater ease anyway, and we just enjoy the process. So I invite you to share with me below, what are you celebrating this full moon? Full moons are times for celebration. And again, you can even look at, if you track the moon cycles, what were the intentions you set at the beginning of the year with the Capricorn new moon? And what has really come to fruition, or what new awareness or insight do you now have? So what are you celebrating? What are you releasing? Full moons are beautiful times to let go of what doesn't serve us. I also want to remind everyone, I'm currently enrolling a new group of students in my Lightworkers Rise Academy. So this is my signature program. It supports Lightworkers in elevating their business, so giving you the energetics, the spiritual work, as well as the strategy for creating a six-figure business, one that is sustainable, one that is aligned to your soul blueprint. So check out the details of that below, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions about that space. I am sending you all so much love. Enjoy this full moon, and I will see you soon. Bye for now.